It may seem that the story of you is chaotic. However, in reality, it is not. The more stories you pass through, the more likely you will be to piece it into one whole picture. Use every possible opportunity. The truth is somewhere close. I suppose I will start at Chapter 1. Once upon a time, there lived Yu. Despite his unusual name, his life was hardly any different from others. It was an unusually usual day when he was getting ready to go to work. 2 hours of sleep. What a formality, he said to himself, glancing at his watch. He was used to working at night, just as he was used to never having days off. That morning, the buttons on his shirt were fastened faster than usual. This was not by chance. The tear-off calendar boldly declared Friday, April 3rd. It reminded him that there were only 3 workdays before his holiday, and there was no room for mistakes. His room in a communal apartment was not very big, so it did not take him long to pack. Having got dressed, he quietly walked past the neighbors' rooms into the hallway. Somebody was snoring loudly in the furthest room, which caused Yu to smile for some reason. He walked up to the front door and accidentally stepped on a pile of letters. Picking up the envelopes, he saw his name on one of them. Yu automatically put it in his pocket and walked out. The thought that next Sunday, a huge stone would be removed from the entrance to the crypt of his existence by the power of labor legislation kept Yu going. Glancing at the address line, a chill went through Yu's body for a split second. From Darina. Yu was confused by the seal on the envelope, indicating the place of departure, Novigrad. Is she really coming back to Kanat? Yu wondered. Dear Yu, my doctor's suspicions are confirmed. I have the same disease that struck you. I thought it over and decided that we need to break up. It may seem that things like that should bring people closer, but it would be unfair to myself. We can have our last date on the morning of April 3rd in the Seafront Cafe, and then I will leave Kanat and go abroad. He felt dizzy. Although Yu suffered from excessive hypochondria, he really had an incurable illness. He clearly remembered the day when he heard the diagnosis. Since that moment, he stopped counting new birthmarks on his body. He seemed shaken up after reading the letter, but not surprised. He tried to squeeze out a tear to see if he was still capable of showing emotions. Alas, he just welled up a little. Approaching the seafront, he tried to spot Darina. It did not take him long to find her. There she was, at the cafe table. She probably had no clue how much he appreciated her starting the conversation. Usually, you are late. am tired. I hope you understand me." But he did not. Having overcome his anxiety, he squeezed out a handful of words. He seemed to be ready for such an outcome and did not hold a grudge against her. Nodding goodbye to her, you hurried to work. He was almost there when he saw his boss enter the office building. He took it as his personal failure. Although you had barely got into the office when he noticed two male silhouettes behind him. He turned around and saw his boss and a man he had never seen before, a little further away. To avoid unnecessary explanations, you took a badge from his table and pointed to it. Yes, despite the fact that there was no live communication with clients, the work charter required to wear a name tag, probably to remember your name. "Wow, that's a very unusual name. Nice to meet you." "It is the only unusual detail of my life." An awkward pause hung in the air. The boss standing behind Frank frowned and cast a reproachful glance at you. "Frank is our security guard starting today." "Oh, we have nothing to..." "A security guard. Some of my important documents are missing." "There are only two of us. What kind of documents?" "That I cannot tell you." "You mean you suspect me?" "No, I do not." Eliminating, the room plunged into silence. You got down to some clerical work. You was sitting at his sturdy desk, imagining again and again how the shelves, stocked with books on jurisprudence, would break loose due to their own weight from friable concrete and break his head. Allowing himself a little break, you took his diary from his table drawer and made a note. "I never took a plate of soup at school lunches, even when I really wanted to. I was afraid to spill it in front of everyone, but I could put it on the table, which seems to be my life's pattern." Feeling some satisfaction from writing that, he resumed work. There was a rustle of the janitor's broom and the trill of birds outside the window. More accurate than the clock, you thought. Chapter 2.